Hello and welcome back to Warrior Bowl Live for week 7. Back again with Foley and with Kev. How are we, chaps?
Back again for the second time tonight.
It also sounded like you're doing a game show. You went, hello.
It's just, it's how we roll.
So that said we were live then. So you did see me with my top off briefly.
Obviously.
Okay, but no one else did.
Yeah.
For your eyes only.
Lucky old me. Mm-hmm. So how are we, chaps?
Very good. I'm still hungover from the NFL a week and a half ago. So are you still hungover from Sunday?
I'm not still hungover, but I think I probably did drink more on Sunday than I've drunk in probably the last 3 years combined. So it was a good day had by all.
Yeah. Was it fun?
It was very good, mate. It was good. It was a good day. Decent game. Went right down to the wire. Good atmosphere. It's always good atmosphere at the London games, isn't it? So,
both games were pretty good. 2 pretty good games from 4 terrible teams. Not terrible. Not the Falcons. They're all right. Well,
maybe it's going to transpire that they're always those early kickoff games. But I feel like when it is the only game on, it makes it more of an event because it's like, hey, there's football on and it's 2:30 in UK time, 6 a.m. whatever. In America, I couldn't remember the name. Where does the league come from?
Do you teach children? Because
not geography.
Just a bit of a concern.
There'll be a load of Americans watching this stream. Like, look at this! These bloody English fans. They don't even know what country the teams come from.
It's called American football.
It's fallen out of my head.
So you had a nice time then, Greg. Did you meet any Warrior Bowl fans?
I've met. I signed a couple of people up, obviously, for next year. So that's
always be closing.
Indeed. But I did meet randomly in the pub the guys from Pick 6 that made all the Warrior Bowl merch last year. So all the t-shirts and the hoodies and all that sort of stuff. They randomly came up to me in one of the pubs outside the stadium and said, "We made those shirts." I was like, what?
Then did one of them ask how the playoffs worked?
Yes. But yeah,
one of them said they know the owner, right?
He said, "Oh, we know the guy that set up the Warrior Bowl, Greg."
You should have said. "What do you think of him?" "Oh, he's a bit of a not for us."
Yeah, probably should have. I gave the game away. But yeah, it was good. It was a really good day.
Good.
Very good.
Good.
Back for next year.
Yeah.
Have you been to any of them, Kev?
I went to like the first 6 or 7, and I went every year until it got to the stage where there started to be multiple in each year's, and then I've not been to a single one since then.
You like it exclusive?
Yeah, it reached that stage in my life where I was busier, becoming a dad, lazy, had stopped drinking, all of the good reasons for going, I had ruined for myself. So,
to be fair, I went, I think, probably first 5 or 6 years, and then stopped and didn't go for quite a few years just because, you get to that point when having kids and all that sort of stuff. And then, went again 2 years ago, I think, was for the first time in ages. So,
Bring on more.
I did try to get tickets last time the Raiders were in town, and they sold out within like 7 seconds.
Yeah, that was the one 2 years ago against the Bears that I went to.
Was it Raiders Bears?
Yeah, it was the tickets thing was a shamble.
Yeah,
it wasn't too bad this year, I didn't think.
No, it was better this year. We got them on the second ballot type resale thing on the official site, which is a really good idea.
Yeah, definitely.
More next year, please.
Well, I don't know if we're going to get more next year because they're going to start having some in Germany.
See, I'd probably be more interested in going to that than I would the Wembley one.
I think a lot of people would probably say the same.
I think getting tickets for Germany is going to be nigh on impossible, isn't it? You're going to be really lucky to get that. I mean, German fans bloody love it, don't they?
They do. Because normally, I remember seeing, what were they called? Berlin Fire? Rhine Fire?
Yeah,
the
Ryan Fire maybe
Fire,
or
I
something.
think.
the NFL
Yeah.
Europe team, there would always
They had
be
a few teams, didn't they?
there would always be shirts of theirs at Wembley. So I was just like talking to those guys. So yeah, was it Berlin Thunder? Was that one of them? Or am I making up teams here?
I think so.
But yeah, so I would always see guys.
Dresden Monarchs, Frankfurt Universe.
I don't think Dresden Monarchs is a real one.
Well, it says it here.
Oh, is it? All right. I was going to say
Stuttgart Scorpions. Wait, I think this is current.
Right. I was going to say because it was the London Monarchs.
It was, yeah.
Yeah, I thought that, yeah.
Whose shirt I once famously wore on this stream.
Famously.
Yeah. Big days. Marburg Mercenaries.
That's a great name.
Ingolstadt Jukes. Kiel Baltic Hurricane. Anyway, come on, let's get cracking.
He's just reading a list now.
Offend any more Germans with your horrific pronunciation.
It could have been good. You don't know.
I'm confident.
Yeah, you're probably right.
So, moving on to Warrior, how did you boys get on this week?
Well, I took a scalp at Mike, Daddy's home. Took a big scalp there actually. With it, and I was pretty worried because what did he have somebody on Monday Night Football that was big? Because he unfortunately left Chubb in. I think it was kind of because he was kind of last minute inactive, wasn't he? So he left Chubb in, and if he had to put, I think he had two people on his bench that if he had to put in instead of Chubb, he would have beat me. Because 205, what did I get? 202. That's a pretty decent score. So
he had a decent score, so didn't he? 180.
That's what I mean. Yeah, that's a really good score. And he just got really unlucky with someone, just not being able to jump on and take Chubb out in time. I think because like I say, he had two people on his bench that if he chucked in there, he would have beaten me. Because he played it I think that was it. Noah Fant, that was Sunday Night Football, wasn't it? Denver and Vegas.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I woke up in the morning. I was like, "Jeez, he was close."
Yeah, he had Sutton as well in that game, didn't he?
That's it. Yeah. So I thought it was an easy win. When I woke up, I was a little jittery looking at those two. Noah Fant went off, didn't he? Jeez, I didn't know he'd done that well. 9-11, 97, and 1-2. Nice. So I'm number 4 on the leaderboard still, which makes you deliriously happy, of course.
Delighted
for
it.
I've lost Kareem Hunt being on IR now is proper torpedoed me. That's going to be 4 to 6 weeks? So it's pretty much a season, that isn't it now?
How are you for bye weeks? And there's a lot of talk of Bye-Mageddon.
I'm fine this week.
But
I'm fine this week. Yeah, I've got Pitts back and someone else back. I can't remember, but I'm fine this week. I don't seem to have anybody really on bye. Which some people, I saw a comment before saying everyone, there's a select few of people being like kind of, that doesn't Bye-Mageddon week's not bothering me, so I've chosen really well. And then the counterpoint to that is, loads and loads of good players are on bye. So are you doing really well? If like boasting that you have no good players on your team isn't really a boast, is it?
Isn't that what you just said?
Pretty
about
much,
your team.
Yeah, pretty much.
That was someone's response to Foley's bracket.
Yeah, so I'm a bit worried about that. But no, I think without Hunt now, I think I'm going to struggle a little bit more because I've got Mixon as my RB1, who's come good, and then I've had to slot Melvin Gordon in as my RB2 with Alex Collins in the flex.
You got Collins, but he's
going to be out, I think,
forever,
and he's Monday. You know what? I picked up Rashad Penny this morning for like 5 fab. But it does give me the option though. If I'm going to keep Collins in or keep Penny in, then at least I've got a pivot if Collins is out and Penny plays. So other than that, it's an injured Sammy Watkins, it's Randall Cobb, it's Marlon Mack, or it's Devonta Freeman. Now I'd rather play Kev than Devonta Freeman because Kev's still shifty.
He scored last week.
Yeah, I think all of them scored one last week.
I was injured. I didn't get on the field last week. Oh, sorry.
The Ravens running backs just all scored 1 touchdown and did absolutely nothing else last week, didn't they?
Let's be fair though. The Ravens probably aren't that far from finding my teacher's CV on LinkedIn and being like, it says on here that you played college in the UK. Now we've seen that that's not a good standard, but can you make Sunday? Are you faster than Le'Veon? It's like, well, maybe.
So, Kev, go on. How did you get on this week?
I won.
Yay!
not very, it's not the best showing. I completed a complete weasel move of I completely missed that Koo was on a bye, didn't pick up a kicker. Someone in one of our private chats pointed out to me that I could still grab. Is it Bullock? Was it? I can't remember who the Titans kicker was. Could probably still get him. So I had a claim going in for him, ready to come in on Monday. But when I saw I was winning by a slight margin, I didn't want to risk putting in a kicker that could get me negative points. So I dropped.
Smart move.
I weighed up. I'm really, really behind in the standings. I need the win more than I need the total points, and I just cancelled the claim. As you can see, I did not do great. The handsome mustache didn't even get 2 points. No. Darnold just got me 2 points thanks to a bit of late resurgence, but he was on -8 for a lot of that.
Have you got another QB anywhere, or are you having to play Darnold again?
I've got a choice between Darnold, who's got the Giants this week, or I've got Fields and Dalton. So
I've got a funny feeling, and I don't know why that Fields will do all right this week, because you're not going to run
Tampa,
on
though, hasn't he? So,
but you're not going to run. So if they're going to do anything, they're going to do it through the air, and it's very likely they do nothing through the air. Yeah, it is likely, but I've just got a funny little feeling.
Darnold could be all right against the Giants.
Yeah, so he's got a week to save his job.
Yeah.
I'll evaluate me, man. But yeah, not great. I didn't have anything on the bench. I had a few guys on buys, and I've got a stronger team this week. So I'm in the boat with Foley that I don't have many people on buys this week, but I am screwed QB wise going forward. I think
my third QB is Drew Lock, so I feel you.
Well, he might be starting this week. I had a notification earlier.
Is that right?
Bridgewater's banged up.
I obviously watched that game because I watch all the Raiders games, and he was getting absolutely rocked in that
really?
game. Bridgewater, yeah. So
I had a notification earlier to say that Bridgewater's banged up. He might not be able to play.
Yeah, fantastic. Oh no, terrible. Poor Teddy. Love that guy. Fantastic.
Do you want to start Drew Lock though?
No.
With reasonably significant turnover penalties.
No.
So, for me, I think possibly for the first time ever, all three of us won this week.
Oh wow!
I'm pretty sure that's the first time that's ever happened.
It's typically you lets us down.
Well, yeah, that's true.
You had Derrick Henry, man. You had Derrick Henry.
I've had Derrick Henry every week. That's how it works.
That's true. It's not helped you. Yeah.
I'm 4-2. I'm on the same as you.
That's a good team you've got there, actually.
Yeah,
except for Khalif Raymond and Evan Ingram and Adam Humphries. No, your team's terrible, man.
Mate, I've told you my bench. It's a car crash. It's just IR.
Yeah.
But Tua was back. That was good news. He put up a decent score. Rodgers did decent score again. Khalif Raymond, that's the second week I played him. Last week he put up like half a point or something, but he put up a decent score this week. Andrews is going well. Monster week the week before, another solid week last week.
He's on fire, that guy, isn't
he? Yeah. Derrick Henry is just ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous.
It's not even bad weather yet, and he doubles his output in bad weather.
Yeah,
it's terrifying.
He's obscene. And even with Humphries getting half a point, still managed to put up a decent 192. So, good week.
Well done. Done, you.
Thanks, mate. Thanks. And this week, I'm expecting a very tight one this week because I've got. So I'm third. I'm going up against Cootadoodle, who's second.
Yes.
And she's also 4-2, and I think she scored about 18 points more than me. So I'm expecting it's going to be tight.
Have you seen her team? Has she got the Bipocalypse, or is she?
I haven't looked. I know she's higher up the leaderboard than me because she was in the top 20 last week.
She's going to kick your ass, isn't she?
I mean, she probably is going to kick my ass. Let's be fair.
Yeah.
But who's she got?
You beat a guy who started McCole Hardman in his super flex spot. I take it back. Not well done.
She has got quite a few buys in fairness. She's got Jared Cook on a buy, Claypool on a buy, Marvin Jones, James Robinson, Kirk Cousins, Boswell, Alexander Mattison. So she has got quite a few bye weeks this week, so I might have a chance. But
Pretty much a full squad.
See, the person I'm playing has got Herbert and Prescott on a bye, and is starting Zach Wilson at New England. And I'm like, I don't want to get too excited. It's like, Bill, I've not liked you for years. If you could just keep that stat of yours against rookie QBs, get it going again, because you had to struggle against the Texans guy, David Mills Davis. If you could get it going again, I'd really appreciate it.
I think in the Dynasty League that we set up last year off the back of Warrior Bowl with some of the guys in my division and your division, Foley, I think I'm starting some nobody running back in my Superflex spot instead of starting Zach Wilson this week.
No.
I'm not starting him against the Pats. He scored minus 10 points last time he played the Pats.
Seriously?
Yeah,
they've got game footage on him now. So
yeah, now they know his secret.
He had 7 good plays last time. Here's what we're going to do to stop them.
You're playing Murph as well this week.
I am playing Murph in that league. Yeah, Murph and 5 Yard Rush. So.
He has 95% of his team on bye. So
he does.
I think you're good. You're playing Michael Pittman. Michael Pittman's not a bad shout, actually.
He's not bad. To be fair, he's not bad. My receivers are quite good in that league, in fairness. But anyway, some of the other matchups we'll run through from Warrior Bowl. So game of the week. So this one had a combined 448 total points. So O'Horican, don't know if that's how you say it, slider ID 18. So 235 to 213. The slider ID is also the number one on the leaderboard, which we'll come to in a bit for the second week on the trot. So,
and he's 3-3. Or she, or whoever it is, he's 3-3. Yeah, I saw that and thought, how'd you get there with 3-3? And it's
number one overall and 3-3. But yes, some big scores again.
Yeah.
On Darrell Henderson, good score. Najee Harris, good score. Cup again continues to put up big numbers. Josh Allen obviously had a decent game, but 213 and you've lost. That's unlucky.
Heartbreaking.
That's the biggest scoring game of the week. So the biggest margin of victory, which was 118 points.
I think I speak for everyone when I say,
thank you for coming. Go home.
Exactly.
Oh,
so Tyler and Ed Marsh, so 207 versus 88. And when I saw and he only scored 88 points, I was like, oh, did he not set his lineup? Did he have a load of people on bye weeks or stuff? But obviously had Chubb out, who again was
kind of last minute, wasn't it?
Thing. Sammy Watkins, obviously.
That was game time decision, wasn't it? Or did it
Daniel Jones -9. So not pretty. One of those days.
Put it behind you and look ahead.
Exactly. I don't know I didn't look at the rest of his roster to see if he had a lot of people on bye weeks. Maybe he did because he's got like Van Jefferson starting,
Saints maybe and stuff.
Even Sammy Watkins. People like that, but that was the biggest margin of victory. So the narrowest margin of victory, 0.2 points.
Look at that.
So we've got AJ Hayslip and Matt Millard. So this was in the Predator division, and I've grown to secretly become fond of Matt because he's in the same division as Pike. You guys all know, and pretty much gives him as much shit as we do at every opportunity. So I've become a fan of Matt. So but he lost this one by 0.2.
Pike's not letting forget it either.
Like Gaskin scoring 1.4 against the Jags of all people. You think surely you can.
But it's like he got 9 yards. It's like, could you not have just lent the ball forward on one play for me?
But he fumbled, didn't he? So they had Ahmed in for a while. And
He dropped quite a few
Malcolm
easy
Brown came
catches
in
as
for a
well.
bit, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
Yeah, he dropped quite a few easy balls as well. So,
It's a
which
shame,
to be
that,
fair,
isn't it?
actually, a lot of the. I think Ahmed dropped some balls.
Yeah, he
Brown
had a
dropped some
big drop
passes.
as well, didn't he? Yeah.
One of Mahomes' interceptions hit. I think it was Hill, wasn't it? Tyreek Hill. It hit him right in the hands. Should have been a sure catch to one of his solid players. Just spooned off of his hands straight into a DB. I think it was the safety who was coming down. Probably didn't know a great deal about it. So looks like he's got a tad unlucky there.
Heartbreak.
Yeah, absolutely. And so then the last one. So better lucky than good. So the lowest winning score of the week. So
you shall not pass.
Awkward Tastical, 117 points. He eked out a win with.
Brandon Bolden winning the week. Fantastic.
Exactly. Yeah. I can only assume he's had a lot of injuries and bye weeks as well last week. If you're firing up Brandon Bolden, you're probably not in a good place, are you?
That 1.4. No, sorry, that 1.55. Without that, he still would have won actually. So yeah, all right, yeah.
Looks like he's
that was his first win of the season.
So disappointed with his bad score that he's cut Greg Zerline after the game. Is that what I'm seeing there off roster?
Yeah,
he's on a bye, isn't he?
Make an example.
I mean, he was one of his highest scorers, but
thanks for the points. Drop.
Yeah, he's like his best player on the roster, but no, you go.
See you later.
No one's bigger than the team.
Exactly. So yeah, those are the sort of key matchups from the week. So the leaderboard, and I mentioned Slider ID at the top, back at the top again for the second week running. Most of the top 5 is the same as it was last week. Fantastic, John Lopresto, and Webb Jones moved up into 5th. He was the only one that wasn't in the top 5 last week. Some other jumping 4th.
6-0 and 6. That's good to see. Another 6-0 further. There's a couple of 6-0s, isn't there? But not as many as I would have expected in the top 20. Our friend Dan's up there.
Yeah, our friend Dan, who's 2-4, despite being 14th highest scorer at 480.
Could happen to a nicer bloke.
But yeah, I've managed to get myself up to 51st, so creeping my way up as we go. Kevin, any idea where you are?
I've not even been checking. I've been doing so bad.
Don't worry, I checked for you. It's 292.
So, despite winning a game, I've gone down. It's not a sprint.
Lucky for you.
It is actually a race, though, mate. So
it's like, yeah, we are halfway. It's like you need to stop limbering up.
But yeah, in fairness, we are nearly at the halfway point. There's 14 weeks of the regular season, so after this week, we will be halfway.
Come on, Kev, get warmed up, son.
Just so you can prepare yourself, Foley, next week we'll do a little bit of a rundown of how the playoffs work.
I was just about to ask, actually, so I'll hold it until next week.
As we reach the halfway point next week, we'll do it next week, and we'll mention it regularly after that, just so it sinks in for Foley. But there's
make sure I've got pen and
paper. 13 teams yet to get off the mark with a win. I won't read them all out, but there's 13, the highest of which is number 295 on the leaderboard. So they're actually only 3 points behind Kev. But they are somehow managed to be winless. But there's 11 undefeated teams still after 6 weeks. So I will read their names out very quickly. So we've got JPW25, Dynasty PJ, Greg's Scalera, FF German, Schmeely, Rob M24, GZ 19ACG, P Pfeiffer 01, FF Relevant, Jonathan Jims, and A Ray 50. So they are all currently sat at 6-0.
Real warriors they are.
So we will see. So nobody made it all the way to the regular season undefeated last year.
Pike didn't, did he?
He got very close, though, didn't he?
He lost in the very last week of the regular season. That's the only loss he had, which we were devastated for him.
No, I'm still sad. I'm still sad now.
So yeah, we'll see if anyone can go one better than that and make it all the way through the regular season undefeated. But hopefully, all the other 13 get off the mark and don't go all the season without. Well, we didn't have anybody that didn't get a single win last year, so hopefully those guys and girls will get off the mark. So waivers. Another one that Kev will enjoy. Some high money being spent on no-name running backs.
Can you see him sweating now already? Look at the rage.
Didn't we have this with Dearness Johnson last year?
Yeah,
it's like he is exactly still the same player. There is a reason that even though they run so heavily in their cold weather city, that they don't ever give that guy the ball. Like, come on, people, you're making the same mistakes again.
How do you feel about Case Keenum? That could be a smart decision. Now
I don't hate that. Joking aside, I don't hate the Johnson one because there are some of the leagues I'm in where there've been like 20 different waiver pickups this year on different formats, and there was one league where I've put in 5 or 6 claims because I've left myself in that kind of buy conundrum where I'm like, crap, I just need to. Is Alex Ingold? Where's Alex Ingold? He sometimes gets a carry. I was like on playing Madden with me mate, being like, who's that Vikings fullback that sometimes gets a carry? Ham, right?
DJ Ham, yeah.
So like, let's get him in for this week. But Keenum. The issue will be turnovers, won't it?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, because he does like to throw it a bit. When he plays good, he's good for fantasy. So there's an argument to say there that he's probably a decent player. I'd be very, very kind of worried about playing him on a Thursday. Is it at Denver? It doesn't really matter, I suppose. Denver's D has not been great though. It's really flattered to see.
Denver are 28th in terms of points given up against quarterbacks.
Didn't realize it was that bad. I knew they weren't good, but that's they're not getting any pressure on the QB in the secondary.
As in 28th most. So they're giving up what's that, fifth least, fifth fewest points.
Why are you trying to confuse us?
I mean, I'm just reading it from Fancy Pros. That's how they list it. 28th best.
I can't get behind that kind of thing.
QBs don't score well against them.
Okay,
correct.
So, Christ Almighty!
I was trying to give him some time to work it out himself. I could see him struggling. It's just that
they've given up one of the fewest amount of points to QBs so far this season.
They're the least, most, best, strongest, and worst at something. Like, great, okay, yeah.
Case Keenum is a risk, is what could be a risk, is what he's saying.
Case Keenum's a risk anyway, but now he's more of a risk.
But yeah, the thing is with QB, if you're in a pinch, if you've got guys on IR or you've been hit by the bye weeks, he's pretty much going to be the only guy that's available in me although, because this was picked up yesterday. This morning that went through before he was announced as the starter. So you will also notice, you might be able to see on there, nobody else bid for him.
Yeah, free.
So $112. And to be fair, he was picked up in very few leagues, actually. I imagine he'll probably get picked up tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow.
But yeah, Dearness Johnson, he was 76 was the most he went for in any league. He regularly went for sort of $50+ dollars, which is not really surprising. And then the other people that went over, Donovan Peoples-Jones, Robbie Anderson, T.Y. Hilton.
T.Y.'s injured now, isn't he?
He's popped up an injury report again, hasn't he, today?
And he's not playing Houston, so you don't play T.Y. Hilton unless you're playing Houston.
Well, exactly.
T.Y. Houston.
And Demetric Felton, who went for $51, but in most leagues he went for like a couple of dollars. So again, I feel like given the choice between Johnson and Felton and their respective prices, I'd rather pick up Felton for a couple of dollars.
He's supposed to get a lot of work out of the slot, isn't he? Especially if Jarvis isn't back or if he's limited. He's basically a receiver, Felton. They've got him down as a running back, but I was reading something, I think, this morning that he got like 2 snaps in the backfield, but the vast majority of his snaps and fairly productive snaps were from the slot. So he's essentially a short yardage receiver.
He's returned some kicks as well, I think, hasn't he, this year?
Right.
But yeah,
it's not a bad show.
The Robbie Anderson one is interesting because that is my league. and he was waived or he was cut mere minutes, I seem to believe, after that horrible game he had at the weekend where he kept having drops. So
Oh yeah.
I wonder if I think it's Steve who was up in the rankings. I wondered if he was a Panthers fan and was just like, I'm sick of this guy. I remember being like, Robbie Anderson would potentially be the best player on my team if I put a claim in for him. I've done such a bad job.
He'd be your QB one.
He would be. He'd be starting in my flex. I didn't put a bid in for him. So.
Speaking of your bids,
on brand.
Have you spent any fab yet? Or?
Nope. No, I'm still sitting pretty. Still waiting.
Kev, you know, before when we were talking about your 292nd correlation between not spending fab and any thoughts?
Near the end of the year, I'm going to buy out the teams ahead of me with a fab.
Fantastic. Okay, makes sense. And
How
also,
much fab have you got left, Foley?
I'm just checking now. I've just seen a notification that it looks like very, very serious negotiations between the Dolphins and the Texans for Deshaun Watson. So he's very likely on waivers. I know he might not necessarily play this year, but he did. Kev,
is that those same very serious negotiations that were happening 6 months ago?
Yeah, but
it was imminent, days away. It was going to happen,
they're very serious now. I got $37 left. That's pretty good for me. I'm happy with that.
You are not getting Watson.
Who've I
got left.
Yeah, no, you're definitely not.
Who've I been spending money on again now? what have I been doing? Oh, Rashad Penny spent a tenner on him.
Worth it.
I'm more in Kev's camp on that one. I've got 191 left. So,
boys, come on, spend the money. You got to pay the cost to be the boss. You want to be in the top 5? Come see your dad.
You just told us you spent yours on Penny, though.
and I've just seen as well tenner on Devonta Freeman.
It's like being a fruit seller, being like, moldy pie? Anyone want a moldy pie? It'd be like, mate, why are you selling pies and why are they moldy? Why are you shouting about that?
But listen, it's only a tenner. Come on.
Yeah.
Dear oh dear. So we did have a few trades this week, and we had some big boy trades, in fairness, or big girl trades. So yeah, these are the couple of trades that went down in the last week. So a couple of them happened before the games last week, but after we did this last week. So what are your thoughts on some of these?
I'm confused. I always get confused. Did someone trade Michael Gallup and James Robinson for Javonte Williams?
Yes.
Is Javonte Williams in this league? Because I can't think of another reason why you would do that. He split. He doesn't look amazing. He had one good run and he splits carries. Why would you give up both? Why would you give up James Robinson?
Kev, you look at trades on Sleeper the same way I look at playoffs for the Warrior Bowl. It just doesn't go in, does it?
It's like surely like one person got a plus and someone else got a plus. Like,
the same thing is repeated further down with the pluses and the minuses reversed, but I took that out for simplicity.
It needs to be Team A, Team B.
To be fair, it shows Team A, Team B better on the mobile, but on desktop, when I was taking these screenshots, it shows us like this, which is rubbish in fairness. But yeah, that was I'm pretty sure that's Cody Carpentier from Player Profiler that made that trade. That got.
What do I prefer? I think I'd probably take.
He's been doing pretty well in fairness, and I think Denver have got a decent schedule at the end of the season, so I'm guessing he's looking one eye on the playoffs at this point with that one. But
hoping he just takes the job outright and gets the vast majority of the work as opposed to splitting it 50-50.
But they're going to be behind in games because they don't look good.
Yep, I agree with that.
Drew Lock now though, so you know.
Yeah.
Well, James Robinson's been behind in every game he's ever played in the NFL, and he's still an incredibly productive running back, isn't he?
That's true.
Who would you take on all three, Kev? Give us a top or bottom for 1, 2, and 3.
If I was being involved in this, I would want James Robinson, Justin Jefferson, and then Gronk thrown in, just because it's tight end premium. Like Mike Williams has been great. I feel like I called that on Warrior Bowl.
Definitely didn't, but go on.
No, McCaffrey, like he's out for another few weeks, isn't he?
Yeah,
Allen Robinson is a tremendous player in real life, but he's not getting the work that he should. I never want a Seahawks running back ever on my team. It's just one of my many foibles. Diggs. I think Diggs is going to be on the upward trajectory now, especially with Knox potentially being out. So,
yeah,
that's it. That one in the middle, like on paper, before the season, that looks like a good haul for those top 5. But Robinson's been terrible. Alex Collins hasn't done much. He obviously played a game. He's injured. Carson will be back at some point.
Yeah.
Carson hasn't been fantastic. Golladay's been poor. Tonyan's been terrible.
I'm struggling on that one, I think that the first one, I think you're right. I'd take the bottom. I'd take Gronk, Jefferson, and Robinson all day long. On the one on the right, I'd take Robinson and Gallup all day long. And the one in the middle, I'm really torn because you've got the Seahawks backfield essentially, but barring 2 injuries, which is a valuable piece. Allen Robinson has been really, really, really disappointing, but at the same time, he's a brilliant wide receiver. And if he does start to catch a bit of fire with Fields and Fields gets better and Nagy gets sacked and Kev takes over, then the Bears could actually start scoring points. Kenny Golladay looked like he had a little bit of juice, got injured again. Maybe he stays fit. You're going to drop Robert Tonyan, so I don't know why they bothered. Latavius, pointless. Higbee, I don't really rate. I just think he's not going to get the target. So it's basically, for me, it's Diggs versus Allen Robinson, the Seahawks backfield, and Kenny G, which, as good as Diggs is, depth is important, especially coming towards the playoffs and injuries and bye weeks and stuff. So I don't know. I'd probably take the top side, not by much. I'd say keep Robert Tonyan because I cannot be asked pressing drop. That would be the deal breaker. I'm not taking Tonyan. They'd be like, "You got to take him." I'd be like, "No, it's not happening."
They'd be like, well, if you just take him and then you can cut him. Like, no, I'm not doing any work on Tonyan.
No, I'm not doing it.
Talking of trades, and as we just mentioned it a second ago, I've just had notification with regards to Sean Watson. Says that supposedly
3-way, baby.
A 3-way trade sending Tua to Washington. Is what's being.
But Watson's not going to play though, right? So it'd be how would that work?
Has a 3-way trade ever happened in the NFL?
Pass.
This is one of those things where like writers will be like, here's 10 trades that every team needs to make. And it's like I could only think of like 2 trades that like have ever happened in the history of the league.
Also, I don't understand why any team would be trading for Watson at the minute. Like, even if we set the sort of the morality of the whole situation aside for a second, like, he could end up in prison or whatever. Like, when is he ever going to play? He could get suspended for 2 years. It's going to have to pay a lot to get him, and there's a good chance he doesn't play for you for at least 2 years, maybe. So it just seems madness to me to trade for him at the minute when, I don't know. All the rumors keep flying about Miami and trading Tua, but
you got to not feel great if you're Tua right now. It's just it's not
like he's been terrible, is it?
No.
Last year he was just off of a flipping massive injury to his hip.
Yeah.
So, and I think he's looked all right so far this year. He made a bad decision. He threw a bad pick on Sunday.
So did Mahomes.
Exactly. But I think it's a bit harsh.
I've been a kind of an open, not really sure what Tua is. It's one of those things that got on my radar because of college people. Oh, he's so good against other college players. It's like, but he doesn't play in college now. But he looked, and I mean this as a compliment, he looked like the ultimate Tyrod Taylor at the weekend.
Tyrod Taylor in his final form.
In the sense that he was athletic, he's pretty accurate, he's not pushing the ball downfield because he would look like he was being safe, but he can do that. And I was thinking, do you know what? He looks okay.
Step forward, yeah.
Do you know what? I've just remembered that you did miss Foley, but that me and Kev were just talking before you joined us. Kev was complimentary about Playoff Lenny.
Oh, why would you do that?
And he described him as, I think I'm right in saying, described him as a I think, a poor man's Jerome Bettis.
I said
You
he was
just-
an
you just
Asda price version of Jerome Bettis. Yeah.
As the price version.
Okay, but you just
Yeah.
ruined Kev's reputation there. I mean, he's spent decades building up this reputation as the RB hater, and you've just ruined it.
To be fair, he had to put up 27 points, fantasy points, 2 touchdowns, 6 receptions, just
To be called
get
an Asda price player.
as the priced
Yeah, that's
Jerome
not
Bettis.
Very
Yeah.
very minimal branding.
Yeah.
It's not about the packaging.
No, the old quick save, no frills.
It's the Asda everyday range as well, not their extra
Yeah,
special range, just
No.
bog standard value one.
Yeah.
Anyway, we'll move on from niche UK supermarket references.
For all our fans in the States, though.
Exactly. So Thursday night football. We already touched on this a little bit. So Broncos 3-3 at the Browns 3-3. So
it's not-
from a
it's not
fantasy
good, is it?
perspective, are you wanting to start any of these guys?
You're probably going to start Sutton, aren't you? You're going to start Fant just based off
Fant.
what happened last week.
Yeah.
And the fact that if it is Drew Lock, that's probably good for the wide receivers, maybe. But it's certainly not a downgrade, I don't think, from Teddy. It might be in terms of accuracy, but he's just going to launch it and see what happens, which for wide receivers sometimes is a good thing. They can have spike games then, can't they?
I think it's decent for Sutton.
Yeah, I think it'd be decent for Fant as well because he is the big guy who can, maybe catch a couple of TDs. Maybe I'd play the running backs. I'd play them both because I'm going to have to play Melvin Gordon. I'd play them both just because there's volume there for both of them. On the Browns side, no.
Yeah, on the Brown side, you're restarting Dearness, whatever he's called, just to justify spending 88 fab on him as he gets 12 carries for 21 yards and a fumble.
But at the risk of confusing Foley again, the Denver
Playoffs.
have given up the 21st against running backs. So they haven't
Wait, they
given up
are
many points to
21st.
running backs.
They are 20. They are 21st against running backs. So you don't even know which way you're saying it.
First would be the most points given up.
No, don't do it that way. Do 30
That's
second.
the fantasy pros do it. I don't.
Yeah, but Sleeper does it the other way. So 30 second against running backs tells me they're the worst team against running backs, right? First against running backs is they're the best against. First is better than 30 second.
I didn't.
I think I'm
Mate,
right
consistent.
on this one.
But they don't give up many points to running backs. Is my point. And
Because
the running backs are Dimitri Felton and Dennis Johnson. So yeah, to be honest, unless you're in a serious pinch, I don't think you really want to be starting any.
I think there's going to be some
Browns
pinches though,
players.
so I reckon they will be started a lot this week.
It's like,
To be fair, they might give Johnson 30 carries and he's wildly inefficient, but he manages to eke out a decent score. He might just go run riot all over everybody. But
if I'm the Browns this week, if I'm Kevin Stefanski, firstly, I'd be insisting people call me Kev because a grown man getting people to call you Kevin is wrong. So anyway, I've taken a tangent. I'm getting Odell Beckham 5 or 6 sweeps this week. Jet sweeps, jet motions, the play where he looks like he's going to run and then he passes. I'm giving him one of them, and he'd be like, "Whoa, Kev, what's the play call?" And I don't just do the running thing, but then pass it to someone. So stop overcomplicating stuff, Odell.
I'm really happy you carried on there because I genuinely thought you said sweets. And I thought
Sweeps.
which way is this going to go?
Running.
Because I know, and I'm glad it went that way and not the other way. But yeah.
So who are you taking to win this one?
I think
I'm
the Browns
going-
D.
Yeah, I'm going Browns.
Yeah, Browns D will do it. I think it might be a bit chalk, but I think it will be a lowish scoring game, and it'll be a bit of a grinder. And yeah, I think the Browns D is still good enough to put some pressure on if it is Drew Lock and rattle him a bit and get a couple of takeaways and keep it a low scoring time possession game.
Just so it's not a clean sweep, I'll take Denver.
Good lad.
I'll take
God bless you.
I'll take Drew Lock to sling it about a little bit and maybe hit Sutton on a deep pass and a big long touchdown. Maybe we see Javonte Williams emerge. Maybe Maybe somebody knew what they were doing with that trade. But yeah, I reckon. Yeah, with all the injuries that they've got on the offense for the Browns, I think edge them on that one. But we shall see. I'm not going to be super excited Friday morning to get up and see what the result of that one was. To be honest,
People are just taking it for a guarantee that they're going to put Lock-in as well. I reckon they might go back to Hinton or whatever he's called.
Oh yeah, the guy who took did one pass.
He did
game.
7, didn't he? I think he only.
awful.
I don't think he completed one, did he? Or he might have completed one.
Do you know what the
Completed
best
one.
thing
That was
about
it.
that
Yeah, one
game
completed
was?
pass.
Do you know what the best thing about that game was? That Kendall Hinton is the reason that Pike lost his undefeated season.
He
'cause
did,
He tried to get cute and play him, and he scored him.
Get him back in there. The
virtually
Pike killer.
nothing.
The Pike killer.
So yeah, that's the best thing about it. So
Go the Pies.
Pork Pie playoff. So I set the line last week, and I said Tua and Trevor Lawrence would both be top 12 QBs in week 6. Mainly just because I wanted to will it to happen because I was at the game and I thought it'd be quite good.
You were close.
And to be fair, I was close. Trevor Lawrence came 14th, so he was just outside. Tua was 4th overall.
Was he 4th?
And
Oh wow!
I checked earlier, I checked the video from last week just to see which side Kev was on. Kev said it wouldn't happen, and he said there was more chance of me hitting Tua from the stands with a pork pie than Tua making the top 12. And he actually finished 4th, Kev.
Yeah,
So,
and I give him credit.
You did.
Yeah.
You did. You said he looked like a good Tyrod Taylor.
Yeah, that's credit.
That is a nice thing to say, actually.
If I was there, I'd be like, "Oi, Tua, would you like a pie?" I wouldn't be throwing it at him.
Yeah.
Very good. So that brings it to 3 for me, 1 for
Comeback is
Foley.
on.
That's the first one that you've got right.
Comeback is
Well
on.
done. And the guests are also on 3. So Foley, you're setting the line this week for the pork pie playoff.
Yeah,
So
and
what have you got for us?
in honor of the return of my hero from Bai, who I traded for, and who will take me to the ultimate championship belt through the playoffs, I hope.
Kyle Pitts.
That's right. I'm going to say Kyle Pitts as a top 4 tight end on the week. Look at that. I puzzled you. Look at you.
I'm like, this is really bad. I don't know who they're playing, even though I've got Kyle Pitts
Miami.
as the cornerstone of my team.
Miami. At Miami. This is a good line. You're speechless.
So what happens if I think that he will do that?
You can take the on side if you want. You take the line, yeah.
So do you have to then go against it?
Yep.
The good thing is,
Okay,
it's saying
I'll take the over.
So you think he's top 4?
He will be top 4.
All right. Well, that's disappointing.
here's a question for
now
you.
I've got to root against him.
Because to be fair, you don't need to do a great deal to get in the top 4 at tight end.
You say that. There's some big. Well, Kelsey's obviously there, number 1. Andrews is there, number 2.
Kittle's injured.
Waller has had a
Fant's going
drop
to do it
off.
again.
Gronk might not play.
You're worried now, aren't you?
No.
I do have
the
a
last week it was Noah Fant, Mike Gesicki, Travis Kelce, Mark Andrews.
Yeah.
Gesicki ain't doing that again, is he? Let's be fair.
Against the Falcons.
We ain't putting up 26 points again.
Against the Falcons.
He did have a good week against the Raiders as well, Gesicki, didn't he? Was that week 2?
He did. He got 26 points that week as well, in fairness.
Oh.
So 22 points put you in the top 4 last week. The week before that, you needed 24 points.
This is by far the most interesting line so far. Then it's got you questioning yourself.
I do have a
points. So yeah, I'm going to say that he will do that. He'll be in the top 4.
You're going to take the line.
Yeah.
All
Before
right.
I give my answer, Foley, I have a
Okay.
question for you.
Go on.
It says on Sleeper that Pitts is facing Miami and they are 16th. So does that mean they are 16th best or 17th worst?
It's pretty close either way. I'm going to go 16 and a half best.
16 and a half best.
Right down the middle.
I'm going to say that he will do that because I want him to. I need him to be
Damn
one.
it. I've got to go against my guy now.
I need him to be tight end 1 and QB 5 somehow.
Yeah.
You can pass from tight end, can't you?
Yeah.
Knox threw a touchdown last week, didn't he?
He did.
Or was it a 2-point conversion?
2
Broke
point. I
his
think it was
hand,
2
broke
point.
his hand doing it.
He'd
Yeah,
already
I
broke
don't
his hand,
need
didn't
that.
he?
Yeah, I
Didn't
think
he break his hand a few
he
plays before.
pre-broke it.
Yeah.
But yeah, all right. So me and Kev are saying he will be a top 4 tight end next week.
I should have gone top 5, shouldn't I? Ah, well.
No, because we'd have definitely taken it if it said 5. If we took 4.
No, top 3. Stop confusing me with numbers.
You are not good at maths, are you?
I'm not good at maths. That's why I come to you for spreadsheets.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. So finally, DFS. So
I haven't looked at this in a couple of days.
Last
It's 2
week,
days.
so last week's winners were Eric Belair, so he won, and his score wasn't high enough to take the overall lead, which is 202 points. That still remains from the week before. Bo Big Time, Mr. DFS, so he came second. It's the first time he's entered the Warrior Bowl DFS. And he managed to come second. He's also one of our partners, having donated one of his super mega hot box batch bundle. Something I can't remember the exact
The only reason I want to win, to be honest.
It's the thing Foley's most excited about in the world
Really
at the minute
is.
is the opportunity to try and win that. But yes, so happy to see him pick up the prize. Foley, I'm going to say, has bragging rights this week because he beat me, but realistically, neither of us deserve any sort of
We're
credits
terrible.
because Foley was 21st and I was 25th out of 25. So,
Yeah.
I mean, technically Foley won, but realistically, we were both appalling.
Technically, I'm much better than you, but I'm still really bad.
Yes. But I am still the only one of us that's won it this year, so
just leave it. Don't matter.
My bank balance still says that I'm better. So
Surely by that metric, though, you should also put a 1 on for the amount of times you've come last.
1 minus 1.
Shut up, Kev. So anyway, Foley, do you want to run us through your team for this week?
Stafford revenge game against the Lions is just fantastic, isn't it? He won't need to throw touchdowns, but he's going to be like, it'd be on the 1 yard line. The D line will basically just stand to one side and say, just walk it in, and be like, no. He'll just launch it. Like he's just going to punish him.
You do love a revenge game narrative.
Oh, I do, and I just love Matthew Stafford. I'm contractually obliged to love Matthew Stafford because I have him in every single league.
To be fair, I am very much enjoying his year because we all have a friend called Meaty who is a Lions fan and has slagged Stafford off for years about how he's terrible. He's a terrible QB. He's made of glass. He's rubbish. The best thing the Lions ever did was get rid of him. And he's
fantastic, and he looks
and
good.
We all said,
like
nope, he's far better than the Lions deserve. You've wasted him for years, and he'll be fantastic at the Rams. And
I mean, Jared Goff, anybody?
I mean, even their own head coach called him out today, didn't they, or yesterday?
Yeah.
That's not good news.
It looked like he didn't want to, and just went, "Yeah, he's crap." Yeah.
He said the same stuff that they used to say about him, and that everyone has said about him, and it's like, I don't have any sympathy for you. It's like you knew what you were getting. You got a good trade. So
yeah.
So carry on with your line,
Stafford revenge game is just it's a no-brainer. That Patterson, I think he'll continue to do what he was doing before the bye. He doesn't get a huge amount of actual volume. What he does with it is absolutely brilliant. And Miami's D has just been so disappointing. He's just going to feast, I think. Sanders is an interesting one. I mean, I've got him in a dynasty league, and I've not played him, and I'm putting him in this week. So I really do think he's going to have that kind of bounce back week. The Raiders aren't great against the run, are they? No,
21st.
Thank you. So they're not great against the run, but I do think he's going to get a little bit of work this week. So I can see a bit of a bounce back game for Sanders. We both got Cooks, I think, for the same reason, which is he'll just get a hell of a lot of volume towards the end when they're down by 50 points. Because that's what he got last week. And that's what he's going to get every week, I think. I put Mooney in there, but following on from the chat I had before about Fields, I can actually see him throwing the ball a lot. And I think he's definitely got a 60-yard touchdown in him, I think, one, and a couple of other deep bombs that if he catches them, there's your week winner, I think. I can really see that happening because they're just, like I said, they're just not going to run on the books. Bobby Trees because he was cheaper than Cooper Kupp. Kyle Pitts because he's going to be a tight end one and break my heart for a pork pie. Andrews, I think, continues the way he's been going, and I really regret putting the Giants now. When I see you've got the Patriots,
That's a bad pick.
you're gonna win this with the Patriots and nothing else. Because
I seem to remember when we did this the first week, you proclaimed when they played each other, you proclaimed that basically if you're not picking the Patriots against the Jets, you've lost.
I completely missed that. I mean, my thinking there was, look, I mean, Sam Darnold's looked really shaky the last couple of games, so he's going on the road as well. So if he continues that, he was seeing ghosts with the Jets last year. He just couldn't get his head right, and mentally he got scrambled, and he stayed scrambled, right? So what I'm thinking there is that the Giants D isn't terrible. I mean, it doesn't look like they're great against the QB there, but they've got some playmakers. They can get to the QB a little bit. So if his head's still a little bit scrambled going on the road, there's a chance there that he just gets a little bit frazzled and they get to him and batter him a bit. And I'll keep telling myself that.
Is that about a roundabout way of saying they were really cheap?
They were so cheap. It was fantastic, yeah. I want the Patriots. Give me the Patriots.
To be fair, they were only $900 cheaper than the Patriots.
Yeah, it makes a big difference, though.
So anyway, for my lineup, so I've gone with Tannehill, who I know has struggled a little bit this year.
It's been awful, hasn't he?
But I think Tennessee, Kansas is going to be a ton of points. I think the money line, the over-under line on that is 57 points, which is ridiculous. So there should be a ton of points in that. So I've got him. I took Derrick Henry for the same reason and because he's ridiculous. And then I also took Mecole Hardman in the same game because I wanted to try and get someone on the opposite side of that game. And he's done all right so far this year. He's had a couple of bigger games.
Is he not? He's seen a little bit of a target increase, but he just doesn't seem to do much with them.
He's had a couple of good big games, but
he scored this week.
Tennessee's defense is woeful.
Yeah.
So,
although he stepped up a little bit last week. Well, he conceded 30 points, but yeah.
Exactly, and he's the cheapest piece you're going to get in that offense outside of
Byron Pringle,
Jarrett McKinnon or someone like that. So, so Darrell Henderson, who's looked good this year.
Yeah.
Detroit are terrible against the run.
Yeah.
Derrick Henry because he's Derrick Henry. Cooks, you already mentioned. Hardman, I already covered. T. Higgins, I could see there being a reasonable amount of points in that game. He's cheaper than Chase. So hopefully he's fit now and he's going to be back.
Is he back or was he out last week? Was he?
He
was out last week, wasn't he?
Was he still out
or
last
did he
week?
come back last week? Right.
So Higgins, Hockenson, and I think this is the first time actually I've gone double tight end and you've gone double tight end also. We've both done the same thing. So Hockenson, again, because I can see a ton of points being scored in that game. Detroit probably going to have to try and keep up and have to chuck it, and he's the best option.
Zach Ertz on the flex.
Outside of Khalif Raymond, who I did have in this lineup at one point, but took him out. Ertz on the new against Houston. Again, it's a little bit of a gamble. I don't know how involved he's going to be in week one, but he was dirt cheap.
Mate, I was going to say, like
$4,000.
Looking at Zach Ertz there, tell me that you ran out of money on your DFS lineup without telling me you ran out of money on your DFS lineup. And who did you put in your flex? Zach Ertz.
But hey, to be fair, again, at tight end, you don't have to score that many points to be one of the better tight ends. So
yeah, but he's in your flex.
But if I spend more on him, I can't have Derrick Henry.
Listen, I'll see you around about 23, 24th. All right, me and you.
Exactly.
We'll see each other down the bottom and we'll have a chat.
Exactly. And then, as we say, Patriots against the Jets. So, Kev, which one are you going with?
Do you know, I start. I nearly joined this last week. I saw a link saying there was a space left and I clicked it. I clicked it and it was like the league's full.
Oh.
Which What probably would have happened would I'd have given up because it would have been like, you've already got an account. You haven't got an email address registered anymore. Blah, 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 blah.
Do you want to do it this week, Kev? Because
I
we
might
can.
do. I might do.
We can send you the link before it goes out to everybody, Kev. You know, we have that power.
You could, if you want to do it every week, you can put yours up here as well.
I like the Patriots, so I'm going to go with Sunshine.
Excellent.
So, I think Miles Sanders is not getting used enough. I don't think they're using any of their running backs enough, if I'm honest. I feel like the Jets game is going to be brutal, and that Wilson is going to be like that scene in Platoon where William Dafoe has been left behind and all the Vietnamese guys are chasing him, and they're like, he's still alive, and they're like, just leave him. that's going to be the Jets. The Jets are like getting on the coach. The game will have like 2 minutes left, and they'll still be driving. It's like,
just leave him. Just let he's gone.
I like it. I like that as a flyer.
Thanks, mate.
Not as keen on Derek Henry because I'm just sick of him at the minute. He's gonna have a bye week soon, and all you smug Henry owners, you're gonna get what's coming to you. Which is like,
really, really, really good analysis there. I don't like Derek Henry because I'm sick of him.
Well, it's true. It's like how many?
His bye week's not till week 13. I'll already be in the playoffs.
That is excruciating. Why did they not pick him?
He's gonna be traded to another team in week 12 that's already had their bye and playing every single game.
It's like I've trimmed down the amount of leagues I'm in this year, and I still feel like I play him every week. And it's like this doesn't make any sense. How does it keep happening?
But there we go. Actually, I think what we need to do is we need to keep account of when Kev picks one, whether he's actually ever right and which one does better.
Yeah. Kev, get yours up on here next week.
I will do. I think I picked Foley last week. I know. I think I picked Sunshine, which would prove that I'm no good.
Yeah. Well, join the club because that's what we're good at, being not good.
Exactly. So there we go. That is about us for this week.
Question for you, Kev.
Go on.
What is your favourite household chore?
Household chore? Probably hoovering the stairs.
Ooh, why?
Because a few years ago we got a Shark vacuum, and it's the greatest piece of engineering equipment that I have in the house.
But the stairs you've got, it's awkward. I like it.
No, it's not, because it's like if you're on the bottom stair, everything is within arm reach.
How high are your stairs?
Well, the stairs start at the bottom and they go all the way up, Foley.
You don't reach the stairs.
If you're stood at the bottom,
can you reach the top stair?
No, but I can reach the stairs that are eye line in front of me. So other than like the 3 or 4 at the bottom, everything else could be hoovered vertically.
You got to lug it up then and lug it up.
That's why the beauty of a Shark. It's handheld.
I don't know what a Shark is.
Is it one of them fancy ones? At the risk of boring to death the few remaining viewers we might have left, is the Shark good, Kev? Because my missus wants one of those handheld hoovery jobs, and we could either go Dyson or Shark. So everyone that's got a Shark.
I went Shark because of my political views of not liking Dyson. Shark are an American brand, good engineering, renewable parts, comes with double batteries. It's got lights on it, so when you turn it on, it feels like you're in Mass Effect or like some other sci-fi game. So that speaks to me.
And it's got a shark on it, I'd imagine.
It's got a shark on it, yeah.
For Greg, yeah.
I mean, I'm tempted to ask about the reason for not liking Dyson, but I don't think we've got another hour to
let's leave
get into that. One thing that I did enjoy about the whole going back to the start of the London game is arguing with our friend Pete about why he doesn't use Amazon, which then transitioned into an argument with his friend about pensions. So
right.
Okay.
when did we all get so old?
But yeah, that was how I ended my day after about 10 hours of drinking, arguing about pensions. So
can't switch off that business brain, can you?
Exactly. So I can't even remember what Foley's question was, to be perfectly honest.
What's your favourite household chore?
Household chore.
Oh, that was it, yeah.
You don't do any, so how would you know?
His
Get
favorite
people to do that.
Yeah, his favorite chore is this stream every week with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
And now you, Kev, as well.
Yeah, true.
That's true. That's true. All right. So on that note, thank you very much, chaps, for joining me. Thank you everyone for watching. Good luck in Warrior Bowl this week. Good luck in all other leagues, and we will see you next week.
See you next week.
Bye.